think
And
it did.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Yep.
There you
There it
are.
I did it. It didn't take that much.
Yay!
I guess I did. I guess I must have set it up last time we did this, and then I totally forgot that I did that. We're good.
Perfect. All righty. So yeah, now it'll go out to your to yeah to your subscribers and all that good
Mhm.
stuff. Hey, Teresa Hidarian, nice to see you here. So Jessica Lynn, nice to see you. And yeah, there's a few folks who have been more than anxious and waiting for you to come back.
Yeah. How was your Halloween?
You know what? It was really good. Actually, it was a lot of fun. I happened to, I got sick before
Mm.
Halloween, so it was kind of a little bit of a struggle. So
Mm.
I'm feeling 1,000% better, and the only thing that's left now is just the cough. Every once in a while, yeah, the cough kicks in.
Yeah.
But yeah, did one one show where I was I guess you could say kind of a throwback to Marlena Dietrich. Remember when she was in the one movie, and I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, she's wearing this top hat and with the black hair, and she was singing "Falling in Love
Mm.
Again." So that was me on the one day, and then the next day, I dressed up as the theme of the show that I was a guest on was TV shows of the 60s, 70s, and
Mm.
80s.
Mhm.
And there was a show very popular here in Canada called SCTV, Second City
Mm.
TV. And there was a John Candy was on there. There was a lot of well-known comics who started out. Mike Myers, I think he was on there as well. Anyway, there was a lot of them that started out on Second City TV. One of them was Andrea Martin,
Mm.
and she did this one character that was called oh god, Edith Prickly. That's what it was, and she was dressed head to toe in leopard print, all
Mm.
and had this little hat on with the weird glasses and anyway. So I was Edith Prickly.
Very cool. Very good. Do you do readings on Halloween?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year on Halloween, what did we do? I No, I didn't do readings actually on the 31st. I did readings beforehand, but not on the 31st.
Oh, okay.
I did go on um, Scott Scorpio Sun Tarot. It was his birthday, so I stopped
Mm.
in there for a little bit. And speaking of, there he is. Hey, Scott. Hey, Jackie. Nice to see you guys here. So yeah, that was yeah. Flower Beauty says, yeah, the show that we did where we all dressed up was really good. It was so much fun to have everybody. Now, how about you? Did you do anything special for Halloween?
No, I never work on Halloween. I have a rule of not working or doing readings on Halloween just because I used to back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to be asked to go to parties and like do
Ah,
readings at parties and events and so forth. But I always run into the issue of whenever I would work parties, and actually, I don't even do parties anymore, period, just because people tend to treat me like a party favor. Like they treat me like I'm there for entertainment, or I'm there to
yeah. Yeah.
for the tricks and fun of it. And I'm like, no, I take my work pretty seriously, even though I can be an
Yes.
entertaining and fun personality, and I definitely love a party and I can have a lot of fun. But I do like that my work is taken seriously. And whenever I worked parties, I never felt that way. In fact, quite the opposite. I always felt just like
I know.
awful about myself afterwards. So I stopped years ago. I stopped doing readings and doing any kind of parties altogether, and I just don't. So when people request, like, unless if it's going to be like me giving a lecture, or I'm going to go and the event is specifically so that I can do readings for the entire time, then that's a
Yes.
completely different situation. But if I'm just going to be there
Yes.
like for entertainment, I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just
I'm
not for
not
me.
your trained monkey.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not your clown. I'm not your clown. I'm not your
Yeah.
dancing or performing clown. So I don't work on Halloween, but I usually will do this whole like spiel. I think that this was the first year that I didn't have anybody with me, because usually every year I do this whole routine with my partner, but we broke up in April, and so this was my first year alone in
Oh.
probably like 25, 30 years. Like, it's been a long time. So
Oh my God. Yeah.
it was a different experience for me. I was like, okay, well, I think next year it wasn't a bad day, but when you're working through grief and you definitely have come out of a major relationship like that. We were together for 15 years. So I
That's a
had to
long time.
learn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the first, Halloween we didn't spend it together. And so I still did some of my routine. Like, I watched Halloween, I watched The Birds, I watched Hocus Pocus, and then after that I was done. But next year, I think I'm gonna want to do like a party next year. I think I'm gonna
Right.
throw a party, because I've never really thrown a party in my life. So I think
Mhm.
Halloween would be a good time to start.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of the birds, um, that's one movie that I have seen more than once, and it's it's an interesting one. I don't
Yeah,
dislike it, but I find it challenging sometimes.
yeah.
Anyway, I was, oh my gosh, in my early 20s, and I had bought a budgie, a male budgie, because I was told that if a budgie is going to speak, the male
Mm,
generally tends to speak more often than the female and whatnot. So I spent weeks with this bird, and he would sit on my finger, and I would talk to him, and I would look at him, and I would go, hello, hello, how are you? You're a good birdie, and blah blah blah. But it was hello, hello.
mhm,
So one night, and yeah, it was around Halloween, that I thought, okay, yeah, we'll do we'll do the birds. So this is way back, even like when we had video cassettes and beta. Okay, so it was a case of, yeah, getting the VHS, putting it in. I watched the birds. It was fantastic. Enjoyed it. Fine. Turned off all the lights, and I'm going to my bedroom when I hear hello. Well, I almost jumped out of my skin because it was just like, what? And so, yeah, I'm turning on the lights, and I'm looking behind me, and what's going on. Yeah. And here's the parrot kind of looking at, or the budgie looking at me like, hello, hello. And I went, oh, shit. Yeah.
Mhm.
This was the perfect time to decide that you wanted to let me know you can speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, listen, thank you, everyone that has come in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, not only to my channel, but to Ferny's channel as well. If you go down in the description of the video, his information is going to be on there. So please, please make sure that you do that. And I'm begging you to please, please subscribe to my channel. I am count them, 4 subscribers away from 2,000. Okay,
Mm.
4. Do I need to say how many? 4. So go over, make sure you're subscribed. Yeah, once I'm over the 2,000, yeah, I'll be having a bit of a party and do some giveaways and all that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, please put them in all caps. That way, oh, Viviani says I'm one away. Thank you, Viviani. All righty. So yeah, have a couple questions. And we'll take it from there. But if you can, yeah, put it in all caps, and Yeah. So, are you ready?
Yeah, let's
Are you
go for it.
ready?
So make sure everybody, guys, whatever questions you ask, try to be specific, just because people can ask very general or vague questions. So if you ask a general or vague question, that can go in a lot of different places. So a general or vague question would be something like, "Do you have a message for me?" That's too vague. Or "What do I need to know?" That's too vague. Or "I would like a reading, please." That's too vague. Be
Yeah.
specific, like, "Are John and I going to get back together? Do you see me getting a promotion with my job? Is there a job change coming up for me? Am I going to move soon?" Like, those are more specific questions. So I have an understanding of what you need me to tune into. Because if not, my brain will go everywhere. And then I might give you something you didn't ask for, but you didn't ask. So you should ask and make sure
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
utilize my time. Yeah. So
Yeah,
be specific,
exactly.
guys.
And then it's not fair to either Fernie or myself, yeah, when you are too general, because we'll pull in the first thing sometimes that we get. And you might get off and go, well, that was ridiculous. That doesn't apply to me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it kind of does. It's just we answered a question you didn't ask. Maybe you
Right.
should have asked.
Just be specific and ask. Yeah, it's like if you go to the doctor, if you go to the emergency room and you walk in, "Help me." And
Yeah.
they're like, "Okay, well, what can we help you with?" "Well, I feel pain." "Okay, what do you need help with?" They're still needing to know because they want to focus their attention on whatever it is that you need help with. And our
Sure.
brains, our minds can go in a lot of different places. And people have the assumption that we psychics know all and see all, and we do not. We do not know everything. We do not see everything. We sense things. That's a big difference,
Yeah.
and we sense what we focus on. And granted, I sometimes when I do readings in public and when I'm doing them on my lives, if I connect with a person on the live, there is something that sometimes will pop up that I need to bring to their attention. But for the most part, I just like, "Hey, what do you want to know? Or what do you need me to tune into?" That way I can use my ability effectively and get to the point. And then that way it doesn't, waste time with trying to figure out what they're wanting to know. Cause some people, they don't even know what they want to know. And I think it's important that you should know what you want to know about, especially if you
Absolutely.
ask someone like us.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Mousy Girl already said, "Oh, mine was too vague." You know what? Put it in a little more specific, and I'll pick it up. So we'll get we'll get started. And Roseflower would like to know. Oh, wait, here's another one. Will I retire from current place of work or change jobs?
Yeah. You want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'm getting that. Yeah, no, this is the place you want to be. So you're too afraid. You really should be in another job. You're just too afraid to make the move.
Yeah. I'm definitely not seeing Rose retire in the current place of work. I actually think that there's going to be a change in about 2 years. So probably,
Ah, okay.
I want to say August or September of 2025. There's a change. And at that point, then you're there for another few years. And I would say that's more likely to be the place you would retire at. But I'm going to say there's a change in about 2 years. And then you'll go to a different organization.
All righty. Perfect. Give me a second. All righty. And Rose Flower, I hope it helps. Okay, Flower Beauty, you're going to need to be a little more specific. Um, I think, what do you say? Who are my
Oh,
spirit guides? Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So please ask a more specific question.
Yeah. I can get
Okay,
that one. Yeah, I can go
you
with it.
can do that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
usually we have a primary guide and then there's secondary guides. We all have primary guides, is what I believe. Your main guide, people always think that our guides are our loved ones in spirit, or a guide is an angel. So an angel is a completely different form of energy. A guide is a spirit persona, a personality complex like ourselves, who has lived a life and will likely live another life at some point. But they have to train to be a guide. Some of us are already in the process of training to become guides ourselves, because we will be guides to others in their lives. With Flower Beauty, you do have a primary guide, um, Roshan. It's actually a male, but the sound of the name is Roshan. is the name of your main guide. So I feel like your primary guide's name is Roshan. I want to say they would have been in the East, in the Eastern, like Orient, back in, this is a long time ago, East Indian, kind of going over into Asia. So I kind of want to put them in that area or region that they would have been based out of. But that's your main guide. Person's been there with you from the very beginning and they'll be there with you to the end of your life. Your guide's job is to keep you on track with what you are supposed to experience in this lifetime. Before you came into life, you sat your butt down with your guide and said, "Hey, I need a plan. I need to figure out what I'm doing this time around because we've got many lifetimes." So you sat down with your guide and you hashed out a plan, and the plan was based on experiences that you wanted to have. People always think that we come in with the idea of wanting to have only positive experiences or a great life. No, that's not why we're here. We are actors in a play, and plays are fairly boring when everybody's part is perfect and everybody is looking immaculate and there's no drama. We are here for the drama. So you planned a life that includes both positive and negative experiences. So there are specific things that you are going through in your life, specifically some of the experiences of working through trauma and relationship challenges with family and parents specifically. And so those are going to be repeating themes and elements that you're going to have to deal with in the course of your life. And I think sometimes you don't own your decisions and instead you want people to make them for you. Your life will not change. There will be no momentum forward. You will see nothing get better in your life until you own your choices and you take responsibility for yourself. Don't expect others to save you or to make your changes for you. You need to own your own life. And until you do, nothing will change. And that you'll see a repeating element and theme. So you can work on that. You can work past that, but you're going to have to own your own decisions. And I think sometimes you're in a place of despair where you don't want to, and you just want help. So that's my guidance for you. And that's your guide, trying to give you a chance to kind of work on that.
Yeah, that was my my sort of feeling, my intuition as well, is that it's not a bad idea to solicit someone else for maybe an opinion, or what do you think in this circumstance and whatnot. But ultimately, you need to make decisions for your life and for your future and what it is that you're doing, not someone else. I don't want that responsibility, first and foremost. That's not my job. So that the message that I got very clearly from the guides was, you need to do what you need to do, and no one's going to save you. There is no knight in shining armor that's going to come in. So I hope that's helpful. Okay. Jessica Lynn, Jessica Lynn, did you want to redo that? Because may I have a message from my spirit team? Is a little vague, Ferny?
I mean, it depends on who she's referring to. If she wants to connect, if she wants to connect with a specific loved one in spirit, then I just need to know the connection. I would like to connect to my mom. I would like to connect to my dad. Don't give me the name, just the connection. But if you're asking with like a guide or a spirit guide, is that what you're wanting to know more about? A spirit guide? Like if you want the same thing that I just did with Flower?
Yeah, I think she's probably thinking of her spirit team. The team that would work.
She says she has another question in the chat. So let's see where.
Oh, does she? Oh, okay. All righty. You know what? Let me get rid of that one.
So it says, do you see? Yeah. So it says, do you see a relationship coming? Yep, there it is. Do you see a relationship coming for me? Replacement question. Thank you. Relationship. I'm assuming you mean romantic. You're gonna have to let the past go. I feel like you're too caught up on the past, and it's reinitiating old energy, and it's producing the same cycle over and over again. And what I mean by that is, when we go through a situation, let's say I'll use myself as an example. When I grew up in a very abusive household. I had a stepfather who was just really an awful person. And as I got older and I started having romantic relationships with people, I kept seeking out males who were reminiscent of that stepfather because I was trying to heal this part of myself. And I didn't realize I was doing that. But it was only what I was familiar with, what I was comfortable with. And so sometimes when we don't understand what we're doing, we tend to repeat the same cycles. And I feel like what's happening is some of the trauma, some of the pain, some of what you've experienced from your past relationships, you keep replaying that in your head and those memories keep coming up. And even though you want to think about a good relationship, a healthy relationship, a loving relationship in the future, you're also mixing it with these old memories of past experiences. And all you're telling to the universe, all you're saying to the universe is, I want a connecting relationship, I want a loving relationship, but it's going to have all this junk attached to it as well. So you're pretty much reproducing the same energy, same cycles, and you're going to keep running into the same thing. And so here's what I would recommend, and I'll answer your question. I would recommend that you start to let go of the past, and that you start to no longer let yourself replay those old memories, those painful memories, and those disappointments, those people who just kind of like you feel they were screwed you over or you couldn't trust them. Like just let go of those memories for the time being. You do not have to replay them in your mind and and bring them back up because all they're doing is they're just like gonna keep screwing you over. And then you can start to focus more clearly on what you're trying to manifest into the future. There's a really good book by Ariel Ford called The Soulmate Secret. Check it out because I think it'll give you an idea of what to start to focus on to start to manifest a good relationship for yourself. As of right now, I'm not seeing a relationship for you in the near future. I am seeing something coming up in about 2 years and 7 months. That person's name starts with the G or GR sound. I want to say that it's the nickname they go by, not the official name that they have. So I want to say the GR or G name is the nickname.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And what I'm getting is that you need to be a whole person before you can get into another relationship, or at least a healthy relationship. So, the old idea of, oh, I fell in love with so and so, they complete me. That happens in the movies. That's a good line in a movie. You need to be a complete person approaching another complete person. And that's when the relationship is going to come in. And I really wasn't getting anything in terms of a timeline. So, but I didn't see anything soon. Not like, oh yeah, but you'll meet this person by Christmas. I didn't get that. I got a sense that it was further away from that. So, yeah, 2 years, 7 months. I can do that. Absolutely.
It's funny because sometimes people like sometimes when I respond to questions like that and it's over a year, people are like, "Oh my God, that's too long." I'm like, "No, it's not." I'm like, I've had to tell people I don't ever see you getting into another relationship and you're gonna, be alone for the rest of your life. Like, what? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, but it happens. People sometimes just don't know how to work past their crap and open back up to love again. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All righty. So hopefully that was helpful for you, Jessica Lynn. All right. Gemstone Rhapsody wanted to know, is something off energetically inside the master bathroom in my house?
I think you got mold. I don't think this is energetically. I think that there's a mold issue and it might be causing some weird uh, sensory experiences. I almost feel like your nervous system is under attack. And I feel like when you go into that, you might already have an autoimmune condition or an autoimmune issue going on with your health altogether. But because you're more sensitive, you might be picking up on this, especially when you go into the bathroom, because you might be having these spores interact with your system to where it's causing some sort of reaction. So you might need to get that remediated and check for it. And also, you probably need to check your immune system because I feel like that may need to be stabilized a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, what what I got was, yeah, I could see green, and initially I thought maybe like green in terms of fairy or something that was just kind of playful. It wasn't anything serious. But yeah, I think okay, she's saying it's affecting my partner's mental health specifically. Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Double check. Just go in there,
You know
double
what's it, that's the nervous system. Well, the nervous system is the I mean, mental
yeah.
health is going to be the nervous system. But let me see, mold and nervous system. Mold exposure can cause a variety of neurological effects, including headaches and migraines, cognitive impairments, memory loss, confusion, impaired motor skills, depression, and other behavioral issues.
There you go.
Have them check. You need to check for mold.
Yeah.
You need to check for mold. So if you're not going in there and they're the ones that are being affected, it's their neurological system, or the nervous system, and it might be affecting them in a way where if that's the room that they're using or that they go in there, that may be triggering things. But I think that it's physiological. I don't feel like this is energetic.
Yeah. There you go, Amber. All righty. And go. VL would like to know, do you see me getting the job I just applied for?
I do not. I think there'll be another opportunity or another job. You might be able to apply for the same job in January because it may not be the only one that's available. But I think there's something that comes up in January that feels more promising. You may not start until February because I feel like I'm not seeing a change with your pay or income until maybe mid-February or early March, which would make me think that something changes job-wise at that point. So I'm thinking around January something promising comes up, and then the changes come up shortly thereafter.
Yeah, there was something when you submitted your application and or your resume, there was something that was missing, and it wasn't picked up by the computer algorithms that the company uses, or that they kind of use as a check off for applications coming in. So no, I don't know that they have even seen your application or will be looking at it. Although there is another job that is coming. So whether it's related to this one in any way, shape, or form, that could very well be it. But for the time being, the specific job that you applied for, no. But there is something else. Okay. And Supermom, Milicia, will my finances get better before the year closes?
I feel like it's going to take about 2.5 years before your finances get significantly better. I do think there's a little bit of an improvement. Maybe as early as February, but I'm leaning more towards April. I think in April you get a little bit of extra financial boost, but I don't feel like it's a big enough change to say that your finances are drastically different.
Yeah,
I feel like it's going to take about 2.5 years.
Yeah. What's coming is sort of in the near future. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of it's a little bit of money, but yeah, not enough to really make a difference. It'll take some of the pressure off, maybe one or two of your bills, but it's not enough to cover all of them and make you sit back and go, okay, now we can do something else. So yeah, it'll take a little while for that to happen. Okay. And Arlene would like to know, do you see a love coming into myself? A love coming into yourself.
I think she's just asking if we see love coming for her.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Right.
You know what's funny? It's the little things that matter. It's the little
I
things
know.
that make us because I mean, it's like we always look at like the big achievements in our lives and think that that's going to make the biggest, but we always go back and look at the little things, like the moment that I got to this point, or the moment that
Exactly. Yeah.
mhm, yeah.
Yeah.
Arlene, I'm sorry, baby. I don't see love coming in for you this year. I think I actually want to say around July or August of 2025. So I'm not thinking this is the coming year. I'm feeling like this is maybe the year after that. There's somebody that pops back into your life that you either
Mm.
used to know or have some sort of affiliation with. I'm not thinking it's an ex. I'm thinking it's more of like someone you just knew or you had
Yeah.
a connection with. And that might be an interesting, you know what I'm reminded of? It's the idea of whenever like if we had a friend and the friend was married and then the we got along with the husband, but then the
Yes.
friend and the husband, they break up or they get a divorce, and then the person pops back in and then we're like, oh, you're what happened? And then but you get along with the husband, and then all of a sudden they're like, would you ever want to go out? Sure. It's almost a situation like that. So you don't be
Yes.
surprised if it's a former like person that you used to have an association with, but you didn't get a chance to date yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Heather. Heather was really looking forward to you coming on. She really likes your energy. So yeah, Arlene, that's as Ferny was talking, that was exactly my impression, was that it's kind of someone that you have known in the past that comes back. And it is one of those, you meet up at a coffee shop by accident, and it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? But how's Mary? Oh, you're no longer together. Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
yeah, one of those, like, how unfortunate. So yeah, but it'll take a little bit of time. Okay, Mousy Girl. Yeah, she says, am I moving forward with my healing journey?
Um,
Yes.
yeah. Do you want to go first?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You're the guest. You go first.
I think that your healing journey is going to take an entire lifetime, Mousy. So I think you need to give yourself some grace and give yourself a chance to realize that you may not ever become an idealized version of what you think you should be, but you will become a better version of who you've been. And I think that your journey, part of your journey, I think, has to do with you embracing the darker aspects of your nature. Because I think sometimes you try to be everything that everybody else would want you to be. And I also think sometimes you think of others more before you think of yourself. I don't think you like to disappoint others. I don't think you like to confront or to get into situations where you are really like directly addressing the issues or the struggles that you're having, especially with others. And because of this, I think oftentimes you may find yourself inadvertently expressing yourself in ways that does not come across in a clear enough manner to where people get where you're coming from or understand you. And because of this, I think people misunderstand you a lot. And I also think that sometimes you don't feel like people want to be as connected or as invested in your life. What I would say is you need to stop trying to make everybody happy, and you need to learn to just be a bitch sometimes and disappoint people and be okay with that. Because I feel like you need to embrace your darker nature. I'm not saying go out there and be an intentional
Yeah.
asshole to everybody in the world, but sometimes you just have to own who you are, and that gives, and you have a right to be a human being. And that's the positive and the negative. And there are people in this world who are just horrific people who come across in a very charismatic way, but they do horrific things and
Yeah.
they don't care. And then there are people who are, complete douchebags, but then they do incredible things. You think of people like Steve Jobs. He was an asshole, but he got a lot of things done and he changed and revolutionized technology in this
Yeah.
planet. Oprah Winfrey, we look at Oprah Winfrey as a light in the world, but if you really knew Oprah behind the scenes, she was very, very militant in the way that she ran her organization. And there was a darker aspect to her personality that people didn't get to see because
Yeah.
it's not the public perception of who she wanted them to see. So I think you need to get to a place where I think you need to get to a place where I feel like you are okay with disappointing and being intentional and being aggressive, even if it means you not being liked. And it's okay. You don't have to be liked by everybody. And I think you deserve to have a voice, and it's time to use it.
Yeah, exactly. That was, I think, and Mousy Girl, I don't remember when I do, after I do a reading, it's like it's gone. But for some reason, in this case, reading your question, I felt that yes, I had picked up on it before, and I'll just say it again. No is a complete sentence. It doesn't require an explanation. And, you kind of bent over backwards to be accommodating to other people without realizing that there is no reciprocity here. They are not being very accommodating to you. So it will feel like you have to kind of turn into that bitch. It's just marking your boundaries and your territory and saying, I will no longer tolerate this. So, and that is a journey, unfortunately, that is ongoing, right? If any of us who have had issues with boundaries or setting limits, it's something that we tend to work on a daily basis, right? Because people will always try to come up and test. I know she said no last time. Did she really mean no? I'm just going to push a little and see. Well, maybe she meant maybe, right? So yeah, think of yourself first, and that's not being selfish. That's just being genuine to who you are, right? You think of yourself first. Yeah.
It's funny because when I, when I speak on these things, I don't just speak from a place of like, oh, it sounds good, I read it somewhere, let me regurgitate. It's I've been through this. I know
Yeah.
what this process looks like and entails. And I will say that the moment you start setting boundaries in your life with people and you start standing up for yourself, you will notice very quickly which friends and which family members truly care about you and which friends and which family members are bloodsuckers. And the only reason they were even kind to you or came across in a way that seemed to be caring was because you were enabling them and they were taking advantage of you. And the minute that you pull back on giving those people any energy, suddenly you have a lot of extra energy. Suddenly you feel lighter. Suddenly things seem easier for you. And you're no longer feeling this pulling force against you. And instead you have extra energy and fuel to put towards anything you want to put it towards.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is wonderful. Arlene says, Fernando, you gave me the same advice as Mousy Girl, and I got my power back to be in balance.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's what it is. We are in our power. We are in our balance. So yeah, absolutely. There you go, Mousy Girl. I hope that helps. Okay. Did we do Arlene's question about do you see a romantic relationship?
Yeah,
we did.
We sure did. Yep.
Alrighty, excellent. Then we go Michelle Krantz. Will Marty and I become more than friends, or is there someone else that I'll be more in tune with?
I definitely don't think you and Marty are going to become more than friends. I think you intimidate Marty. I also think that Marty might not think highly of themselves to where what they remind me of. I've dated people in the past, especially one of my exes, where when we dated, he would always say to me, "You deserve better. You deserve better than me," or I'm an awful person. You deserve better. And I was like, "No, why would you say that?" And I always like tried to empathize and tried to, be a friend. And I should have listened to them because they were being honest. And so they didn't think highly of themselves. And they were saying, "I know I'm going to hurt you. So you should be with somebody else." It's pretty much what they're trying to say. I feel like Marty might be the kind of person where they're not happy with who they are and they know that they might hurt you. So be careful, be cautious. I wouldn't rush into that. I do think there's another individual that will pop into the picture in about 6 or 7 months. I want to say that person's name is Alan or Al.
All righty. I get the same feeling with Marty that no, you know what, don't pursue this. Don't start picking out wedding dresses because yeah, yeah, this is a nice friendship, and that's all it is intended to be, is a nice friendship. And you know, and Michelle, you already know that. You know that there are times when Marty will call at the last minute and you get all excited and go, "Oh no, I wasn't. No, you're not interrupting. Of course I can meet you." Stop that. Just stop that. That's not, if it's not something that you would accept from a girlfriend, then don't accept it from a male friend either.
Mm.
Right? So yeah, there's it's just a friendship. Enjoy it as a friendship. Don't, build the castle in the sky around it. There is, I do feel that there is someone else that is coming in, and you're just waiting until their particular situation becomes solid enough that you can meet. I think right now they are in a little bit of a flux. So as soon as things settle down for them, then you will meet. Yeah. I hope that helps. And yeah, Heather says, we truly need to love ourselves before someone can truly love us. We are whole from within. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Sherry says, do you see me meeting someone new in love for long-term relationships soon?
No. I was Sherry, you're not gonna like my answer, but I feel like it's gonna take 5 or 6 years before you kind of connect with somebody who I think you can hit it off with. Part of that is the fact that I don't think you're very open and receptive. And I also think you don't make it easy for people to approach you or to meet with you. And I think that those are two things that you can work on. As of right now, I'm thinking it's going to take about 5 or 6 years before someone pops in, and it turns out to be someone that's like. So what I'm reminded of when I think of this, I'm reminded of a client of mine that she always meets the guys that, and she's an older lady, but she always meets the guys that she dates either at the walking park that she goes to every day, or the neighbors. And I keep feeling the same kind of vibe here. So I'm thinking this is going to be someone that turns into like a neighbor that you connect with, and then it kind of forms into more. But I feel like it might take 5 or 6 years before this happens. Person's name starts with a D, like almost like a DA, almost like a Dale or DL or
Dave.
Dale.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Dave. As soon as you said D, that's what I got, was Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, there you go, Sherry. I hope that is helpful. So yeah, we are at 46 minutes and we still have 5 questions left. So hopefully we're not going to go too far past the 1 hour mark, because I'm sure that it's Saturday night and you have other things that you want to do.
I'm good.
Good.
I'm a workaholic.
Yes, I know. Okay. So Scott Scorpio Sunterra wants to know, can I have a message from my mom, Betty? She passed away January of last year from Alzheimer's. I believe she is one of my guardian angels. Yes.
Yeah. So a couple of things. So I'll answer the question first, and then I want to give people some guidance about this because this is a good example. So I do. So ladybugs are a sign from your mom. So look out for the ladybugs because she brings those around you. I don't know if your mom used to plant tomatoes or if you've been planting, like trying to plant tomatoes or herbs, but for some reason she keeps talking about putting coffee grinds in the plants. There's something about that she's making reference to. She also keeps showing me the 27th. I don't know if there's a reference to when I see a number. I usually associate that with a date of significance, whether it be a birthday, death date, anniversary date, connected to her or to you. So I see 27. So for me, the 27th of a month is significant, whether it be for her or for you, or if I were going to translate that differently, then that would be February 7th. But it's either the 27th of a month, any month, or February 7th. She also she showed me fabric. I don't know if you have a blanket or a quilt that she participated in producing, or if you made a blanket in honor of her. But she showed me something like this, so there might be a piece of fabric that's also associated with her as well. Here's the thing, guys. With angels, people, I know a lot of people believe that their loved ones are angels. Angels are a unique form of energy. It's like when you think of the idea of love and you have an experience of love, that becomes its own expression and it becomes its own beingness. And so when you think of angels, angels are very similar to those expressions of love. Our loved ones are always humans. They're always going to continue to be human complexes, for her personality complexes. So your mom is still a personality. She's still a person. She didn't become an angel because that's a complete, it's like, did the ocean become the sun? No, it's like a two different things. So your mom is with you and she loves you, but she's not an angel. She's just a loving spirit that's around you, and looking forward to seeing you again when it's your time. Um, Go ahead. Go. You were going to share something before I tell people what I was going to say.
No. I said, yeah, she is, and I think she is one of your guides. She is there cheering you on. Um, she sees what you're doing, and she is taking pride in what you're doing, and is very encouraging. And I know that you can feel her around you. And I know that, she stands on one side of you, and yeah, she very much loves you and just wants you to be happy. She's just saying, um, just trust in what you're doing. Just trust in what you're doing. If you feel that that she is around you, then she is around you. Absolutely. And yeah, I do. I see her standing standing over your I think it's your left shoulder. Um, and yeah, she's there. She is one of your guides. She acts as one of your guides.
Yeah, and guys, whenever you go to a medium, whether it be online through this forum or going in person, do not give away the details. Make the medium work. Make us work. We have to work for it. Because right now, Scott, you said that the only thing that I would recommend, like when people come to me, I always ask, who do you want to connect to? I don't need the name. I just need the connection. Like your mom, your dad, your uncle, and that, or a face picture, because I like to connect with the face of a person. But that's it. It's really all I ask for. And so what I would say is, if you go to a medium, don't give away all the goods. Let the medium do the work. So if you're talking to a medium, Scott, you just told the medium that your mom's name is Betty, and she died in January, and she had Alzheimer's. Automatically, you've literally built an entire picture for that medium, and so the medium can bounce their answers if they're an actual medium. But most people are not well-trained mediums, or you've got scammers who are just playing with people and taking their money. They are going to bounce their answers around that. So if I came to you and I said, well, the first thing that I get is, I feel like your mother, I feel like she wants to apologize for her state, because I feel like she just didn't feel like she was in the right state of mind. And I feel like she was always used to just being in the right state of mind. And like, I feel like she liked to have things a certain way. And then I feel like she needs to apologize to you because she wasn't in the right state of mind. That's easy to bounce off of, because you said she had Alzheimer's, which automatically gives that away. So if you're connecting with, oh my God, she's apologizing, I went through so much with her, how did he know this? No, you gave me the opportunity to bounce that off. And I
Yeah.
don't want you to do that and set yourself up for that, because I really do want you to have clear validation from your loved ones in spirit. And we can be wrong. Mediums can misinterpret, because when I communicate with the spirit, I'm communicating with someone. Now, it may not be the person you want to talk to. There might be another person that I have coming in. And so automatically, if something's not clicking with what I'm saying and with who you're wanting to connect with, I never assume I'm wrong. I assume then this is not the person. Let me get clear who is coming forward, because I need to acknowledge them first and then try to circle back around to mom. But you want to make the medium work for it. You don't want to give away all that information, because that is setting you up to basically be taken advantage of. And a lot of people, someone watching this right now who's a scammer, can look for you on YouTube, can message you and say, I feel the need to share a message with you. And I feel there's a mother presence around you who would like to pass on a message. And you're going to go like, oh my God, this person randomly messaged me. How did they know my mom was passed? And then all of a sudden they send you their
Yeah.
Venmo or their Cash App, you pay them, and then they just to give you some basic stuff that validates what you've just shared publicly, gave out there to the world, and then they took your money, and you think you had an experience that wasn't accurate or authentic. So I just don't want you to be taken advantage of. So guys, make them work. Make us work for it.
Yeah. And it's not I don't mind being challenged. It's I learn when I'm challenged. I learn when someone says to me, no, what you just said doesn't make any sense to me at all. No, that was not my mother. That's how I learn. That's how I learn what either different signals that I'm getting or different spots in my body that are reacting. That's how I learn to recognize them. So yeah, you're not hurting my feelings. You're actually doing me a disservice if you agree to something that I said that doesn't resonate with you, right? It's not helping me grow. So and yes, absolutely, I agree with Ferny 100%, because I just came across somebody just the other day, as a matter of fact, who said that yeah, they had been to a psychic, and the psychic told them that they had this little negative energy being attached to them. And right away, the lights are going off in my head. And I said, no, because if the next thing they said to you was, for X number of dollars, I can remove them. No, that's not how this works. So very good. And yeah, Scott, your mom's there. She loves you. There you go. Okay. Where are we? Did we, Flora D, is there a significant other out there for me?
Sure is. I actually see someone coming in about a year and 11 months, not that long. So it's not even 2 years, but I feel like you're going to meet this person through a work or a job situation, or like a project that you end up working on, because it feels like you meet them through the stuff that you're going to be doing at that time. MAR, I want to say, is a name. So like MAR, I'm assuming you're straight. If you're gay, you can apply this to a female's name, but I think of like a Marvin or a Mario or like a Marlo, like a name like that. So.
Yeah. And I'm thinking this is a hobby, something that you do on the side, that you get involved in with other people, and you're working on this project with other people. And yeah, this is how this person comes into your life. So yeah, absolutely. Just be patient. Have fun while you're waiting. Okay. Don't count the days. Have fun. Yeah. Yeah. Mary Thornberry says, yeah, I went to a reader many years ago. I thought she was off her rocker, nothing registered, but these things came true like 5 years later. Yeah, that can happen too.
Timing it is a really rough thing. Yeah, like getting that time down is it's a fine art. So I always tell people, if I give you a time frame of August and nothing happened in August, wait a year, because I'm off by a year.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Sylvia would like to know, past life, what was my occupation?
Which one? Because you've had several. Um, um, you were a teacher twice in two separate lifetimes, but in one you were um, you taught. It's when they make the shields out of copper and tin. So you taught.
Mm-hmm.
You were kind of like a craftsman, so you taught how to, you were a male in that lifetime, and this would have been
Yep.
during the Roman occupation of Palestine. So you taught how to produce these like shields and some of the armory that they used to use at that time. So
Yeah.
you were kind of like a tradesman, but you also taught because you were responsible for like quality assurance essentially. That's one lifetime. There was another lifetime where you were actually like a schoolhouse teacher, and that was in South America or Peru. You were a female in that lifetime. I want to say you were actually a nun, but you were a teacher as well, and you were responsible for teaching the natives about the Catholic faith.
Okay. And I got scribe. I
Mm.
got scribe that you were, you were writing something, something down, and also transcribing information from one source to another, and it wasn't just a case of copying. It was reading that material and sort of reinterpreting it, and then writing it down again. So it would be like someone today, let's say, going back and reading Canterbury Tales and reading the Old English and saying, oh, okay, well, this is how we would say that in today's language, and doing it that way. But yeah, definitely a scribe.
And
And
Sylvia, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know if that was
I was going to say
that.
if you look at I want to say it's probably the late. If you look at the time frame, I want to say it's maybe 1523. If you look around that time frame in Lima or in Cusco, you might find the name of the teacher that you were in that lifetime. It was a nun. She was attached to the church. I want to say their name was Luciana or Lucina or Luciana name, and there might even be a record of the priests and the nuns and all of that that would have happened around that time. But I want to say it's 1523 is what I want to say.
Yeah. And Sylvia, definitely do that. Okay. Because I can tell you personal experience when Ferny told me during one of our readings that, yeah, I was a parliamentary record keeper in 1569 in England, and my name was William Boyer. And I looked it up and almost fell off my chair. So, yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Absolutely do that. Yeah. Hey, Hilda. That's all right. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Okay. In Viviani, how am I doing with my healing journey?
Um,
I think we had a similar question from
yeah,
someone
we
else.
did. Viviani, your energy is a little different for me. I feel like you're stuck in the victimhood mindset.
Mm.
And I feel like for some reason you have a habit of spinning things in your life in a way where it still comes back as you being victimized, either whether it be victimized by God or being victimized by people or being victimized by circumstances or being victimized. And I kind of want you to break that because that mindset is screwing you up. And I feel like it's causing a disruption with your alignment with source. And I feel like the reason why you don't feel sometimes like you can hear spirit or you can connect with source or with the higher energies is because you're kind of caught up in that lower vibratory state of victimhood, and you kind of need to let that go. I mean, we are victims at times. That doesn't mean that we have to own that title of victim. And I feel like that's something that you need to really break through. So that's a big, big thing that I think is messing with you right now.
Yeah, there are times I think when people go through traumatic experiences, and you may not have a lot of control over it at the time. Looking back, you always have a choice to either move forward from it or wear it like a shroud. And you get to decide that. You may not have been in a place where you could decide what happened to you, but you do definitely decide what you do with that experience. So I think, you know what, keep working at it. Just keep working at it. Take responsibility for the things that you have done. And even sometimes, you know what, we have to take responsibility for the unpleasant things that we have done. It doesn't make us bad people. It just means that, you know, we are having a human experience and we did a human thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't be too rough on yourself, but don't be too gentle. Don't be clutching your pearls. You know, just have big shoulders, wide shoulders. You can take it. You can absolutely take it. There you go. Alrighty, and our last question is Scorpio 1180. Can I have a message from my dad if there is one? He passed away July 2018.
Yeah, he's also interesting enough. He showed me the 11 as well. So the 11th of a month may be significant, whether it be a birthday, death date, anniversary date connected to him or to you. So we are in the month of November, so it could also be the month of November. So either there's a date that he's talking about in November, or on the 11th of a month, there's a date of significance.
Mm-hmm.
He also keeps birds are a sign from him, so he's going to use cardinals and doves and feathers as a way to let you know he's around. He's also been the one dropping the coins, or that you've been finding. So if you've been finding these weird coins in places, that's a sign from your dad as well.
Yeah.
He's intentionally showing me his teeth. So I don't know if he had been having difficulty with using his mouth or his teeth before he passed away, but it's almost like he wants to show that he can eat, or that he can now operate normally, and he feels so much better. He also keeps, thank you. I think there were also some issues affecting his nervous system that he didn't fully realize were as bad as they were, because it's almost like there's two systems conflicting. There was an issue he was already dealing with that I think was the cause of his passing, but then there was another issue with his nervous system where there was a lack of proper communication between the brain and the body, and I feel like there was some issues that might have started to affect the system as well. It might have even triggered blood pressure issues and his heart to become affected. But I feel like he's okay, sweetheart. He's with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He is showing me slippers, like bedroom slippers, and the look on his face is a little kind of like he's questioning this. So it's either he's saying, "Oh, look, I'm wearing the bedroom slippers," or it's like, "Why are these things on my feet? Who put these things on my feet?" And I'm kind of getting a feeling that maybe it's the second one, because I see him very comfortable in like overalls, doing things with his hands, like really kind of getting into things, and woodworking. Like there's something that he's planing wood. So it's, yeah, if he had any difficulties later on in life where he kind of needed a little more assistance, then I think, yeah, whoever had the idea to put the bedroom slippers on him, yeah, that wasn't his thing. Like, yeah, that's what I'm getting. He's just pointing those out, but yeah, very much felt like he was kind of he was like the handyman in the house, right? Like there wasn't anything that he couldn't fix or put together, or somehow get it working, or doing whatever he had to. So yeah, I think that's why the slippers kind of feel a little off. And there you go. So I hope that resonates with you, Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
And
Who was the one that asked about the past lives? Do you remember that question?
oh, Sylvia.
Sylvia. Okay, Sylvia. So Yeah, so the first expedition to arrive from the Spanish in South America was 1523, 1524. So basically, because it's right here, it was not until 1523 when and it was Francisco Pizarro, where he began the process of pretty much arriving in South America. And so they started to arrive in South America. So I'm assuming because he went to South America, and he went with some priests, and yeah, priest Hernando de Lucu. So if you look at that, that might tie in the any nuns or women that were involved in the process, because I feel like the moment that they would have arrived, they would have started to convert everybody over to Catholicism. So if you look at them, that may tie you into the teacher that, or any nuns or names of nuns that would have been tied to that. Interesting.
Absolutely. Perfect. There you go, Sylvia. You have a job to do now. Okay. So you have a task. And Ferny, as always, absolute pleasure to have you on here. You know how much I enjoy this. I would do this with you once a week. You know, if I did. You want to do this once a week?
No, I don't. I wish I had. I can barely muster up enough energy to do it all my lives.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but I really do appreciate it. I absolutely love the energy that, that you bring to the show, and it's just, yeah, love spending time with you.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Always, always. So, you guys, thank you. Thank you for spending your Saturday evening with us. Thank you for getting me over 2,000 subscribers.
Yay! I'm glad I get to be the witness to it.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, just look out for the announcement I'll be making on when we're going to have the big party and do the giveaways and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, maybe I'll have to dress up again or something.
Yeah, I would totally do it. It's worth it.
Yeah, excellent. All righty. Well, you all take care, and I will see you later. Bye.